All right, guys, what's going on? Jamie here. Just wanted to do another video for you guys. This one's going to be a little bit longer than normal because I am going to be touching upon a bunch of these different miners, some of these different platforms that I'm in. I'm going to give you an update on Crypto Future, also talk a little bit about Panda Inu. Haven't talked about that in quite a bit. Also, a couple of you guys have been asking me for an update for Taurus Protocol. So we'll go over all of that stuff. We'll talk about what platforms are working, what's not, where we're making gains, where we're taking some L's, because best believe when you have opportunities to make big gains, there's also going to be, situations that you can't escape where you're going to get hit with L's. Case in point, we'll talk about Rex 1.0, Rex 2.0, whatever it is. We'll go into some of that stuff because, it's the nature of the beast, guys. There's going to be things that, we're going to get hit with, but you got to keep it rolling. And one of the things for me that has given me the ability to manage the risk is to have a portfolio of platforms, contracts, whatever you want to call it. If one goes sideways or if two go sideways and you have 5, 6, 7 other ones that are pumping, you're able to manage that L, right? So anyway, don't want to get ahead of myself. Before I go into anything, we want to remind you guys that everything I talk about on my channel is for entertainment purposes only. Definitely not giving you financial advice. You got to do your own research, do your own due diligence. If you're okay with the risk, and all of this is high risk, and you're going to see in a second here why I say that some of these things are high risk. I'm going to talk about a 12% miner. If you're okay with the risk, only put in what you can afford to lose, guys. Okay, very, very important that you're only depositing risk capital into these platforms, because if you're not, you're depositing funds that you need to live off of, or you can't afford to lose, you're just going to be an emotional wreck, right? And there's nothing worse than doing crypto when you're just emotional all day long. Crypto can be really, really fun. Yes, there's going to be risk involved, but it can be really, really fun. But it can also be super stressful. I get messages from some of you guys that first thing that pops in my mind is, man, this person should definitely not be in this platform. I don't know, why they deposited funds that they need. But guys, do yourself a favor, save yourself the heartache, only put in what you can afford to lose, okay? Also follow me on Telegram. I will leave a link for that down below in the link tree. Stay plugged in there. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about in the Telegram. A lot of times if I'm not in front of a computer, which is, believe it or not, 99% of my day, Telegram is where I'm going to be posting updates. And if you're not plugged into Telegram, sometimes you'll be getting information, way, way late, right? So if you want to get it, in real time, make sure you're plugged into the Telegram. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit subscribe, hit the little bell icon. That way you'll get notified straight away whenever I post a brand new update video or review. So that being said, let's jump into these platforms. Yeah, you can see here Bitcoin. Just wanted to mention Bitcoin doing just a moonshot, right? It was at 48, 47,000 a couple days ago, and now it's sitting at 54,662. I believe it hit 55,000 yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I got to double check, but yeah, getting back to getting close to the all-time high again. We'll see what happens here. All these coins typically follow suit. You see Ethereum doing pretty good. Hex at 40 cents. Cardano, $2.31. BNB looking really, really good. So yeah, things are going really good in the market. You can see here, I like this Nomics page because it shows you the top gainers here. I think you can see this also on CoinMarketCap, but Shiba Inu, 43% in the last 24 hours. So congrats to y'all that are holding Shiba Inu. Some of you guys might have jumped into the Shiba Inu miner, or if you are in Swap It on our team, Shiba Inu was airdropped based on last month. So pretty awesome stuff, guys. Let's jump into these platforms. Okay, so first and foremost, a couple of you guys have asked me, and again, this might sound like a shameless plug, but some of you guys have asked me this. You're asking me for a crypto debit card, how you can spend your crypto. Of course, do your research, find out best ways for you, because what's good for some people in some areas of the world might not be good for people in some other areas of the world. But those of you guys that are in the US, Block Card is a crypto debit card that for me, I've been using for more than a year now. It's been working seamlessly. Customer service is on point, and it's very easy to use. You simply load funds into your card, or crypto into your card rather, and then you can, basically use your physical card. You can have a virtual card, right? If you want to order stuff on Amazon or order stuff online, but you can also have a physical card if you want to go to the ATM, if you want to go to CVS, 7-Eleven, McDonald's, whatever the case might be. You can use your physical card. And what's cool about this is you can earn up to 6.38% crypto back, right? So if you're using it, why not get crypto back? So for me, I'm getting 6.38% every time I use my block card. I am getting 6.38% back. So it's a no-brainer, right? Also, there's a section in your back office where you can buy, sell, and even send crypto to other users. So it's more than just a crypto debit card. It's essentially, a crypto bank that you can use. So again, very, very, very user friendly. And again, you can use it in the US and also a lot of states that don't have, like for example, crypto.com. And there's a couple of other crypto debit cards that I'm not able to use because it's not available in my state. This one here is actually available I believe it's available in every state, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, check it out if you need a crypto debit card. So that being said, let's take a quick look at Drip. Drip sitting at $18.11. Yeah, nice little recovery because again, it pumped all the way back to about $24 and change, just under 25, and then it came back a little bit down. I believe it was at like $16 yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Now back to about 18. I mean, it's going to go up and down. That's just the nature of the beast. People are going to lock in profits. You got to accept that. Okay. If some of you guys are under the misconception that, it's only going to go up, like people are never going to sell. Just because you don't want to sell doesn't mean that, the next guy doesn't want to sell. He might have to sell. He might use this to pay bills, right? So if you're going to lose your mind because the price is going down because people are selling, you're just in the wrong space, right? You just got to accept the fact that people are going to buy, people are going to sell. You just got to do you, right? You just got to do you, work the best strategy that works for you. Don't worry about the next man or the next lady, and make your gains, lock in your profits, right? Do your thing. But yeah, this is well, again, like I've always said, even though we have this BNB, not BNB, the Drip BUSD miner that's going to be launching soon, that should not, or at least my opinion, should not take away from the faucet. The faucet is always going to be home base. I know for myself and for a lot of people, it's always going to be home base. The miner, the farm, it's all in addition to. So if you don't have a position in the faucet, get you a position. I'll leave a link down below if you want to use my buddy address. If not, that's fine too. But get you a position in the faucet, earn your 1% a day until you hit 365%. And then in addition to, not in replacement of, you can jump into the farm, which obviously hasn't launched yet, but I believe the private sale is next week. The next Thursday, to be exact. What's the date on that? I got to check, but I believe it's next Thursday. There's going to be the private sale. Then obviously there's going to be a public sale, and then people can, go to town on these farms, right? As you can see here, a couple of these different farms. This is the native token, at least for layer one, the Manor Farm, Rev. There's a Rev BNB, Rev BUSD. Then there's going to be Drip BUSD, a couple of these non-degen farms. But of course, the degen farms, when I say degen, it involves a native token and or Drip, right? So I believe that's native. You can consider that. It's not native to the farm, but it's it's its own token from the team. Because I believe it's the same team from Drip, from what I understand. But these three are going to probably have the biggest APRs. So if you want to make the biggest gains, also it's the biggest risk, but if you want to make the biggest gains, you're probably going to get into these farms. There's also going to be single token pools here that you can stake. Here's the Rev. Of course, this is going to be the biggest APR as well. But yeah, figure out what your play is going to be if you're going to get into the private sale. And then if you are going to get into the private sale, what you're going to do with your tokens. Again, everyone's going to have a different strategy. I'm still kind of thinking about what mine is going to be. I'll do a video talking about what I'm going to do with this, but definitely going to be going in. That's without no question, right? And then obviously this is I know me personally, this is what I'm going to be waiting for here is jumping into the miner, pays out 3% a day, drip BUSD. And now again, to clarify, you're not depositing drip into the miner, and you're also not getting paid drip. You're depositing BUSD in the drip liberation. That's going to give you drip BUSD LP tokens, and you're going to be depositing the LP tokens in here, and you're going to be earning 3% a day and getting paid out in these drip BUSD LP tokens. Okay, so here's the drip liberation. I know I did a video on this already. If you missed it, go watch it. But again, you're depositing BUSD in here. Half of that is going to buy drip. The other half is going to stay in BUSD. And of course, you're going to get LP tokens in return. And then you can go ahead and deposit that. Now, if you get paid LP tokens, you can compound, obviously throw it back into the miner. If you want to lock in your profits, I believe you're going to have to break up those LP tokens. And, I'm going to assume if you've been farming before, you've been involved in a farm before, and you know how to do that, but that's probably what you're going to have to do. So more clarification on that as we get closer to it, but, review the docs, go through it again. Every now and then I'll review it also just to kind of refresh. But yeah, this one here, very excited about this one. Anyway, let's jump into these miners. So this one here launched yesterday. Everybody and their mother was sending me links to this. And, I'll be honest, there's only so many things I can jump into, right? And I'm in so many already. You just look at the tabs right here. There's so many of these miners that I'm into already. For the vast majority of them, I'm in 10K in each one of these miners that I put in. There's only so much I'm going to get into, 12% a day. I'm already pretty heavy on another 10% a day deal. BUSD farm, I have 23,000 in. Crypto eggs, I have 10,000 in. I wasn't really gonna look to jump into this one, but man, everybody's been bugging me about this. So I mean, all right, I'll bite. I'll do the degen thing. I'll throw some in here. You know what I mean? I don't know how much I'm gonna throw. I mean, I'll throw. 12% a day. This means if you're going to get 12% a day, you need it to run for about 8.3 days. Why? Because 8.3 days times 12% a day, that's 100%. You've broken even. Everything above and beyond that is going to be profit. The question is, will this run for 8.3 days? I don't know. That's the gamble, right? Right now, there's 124,000 BUSD in it already. So again, I'll throw, I'll put 1,000 in just to kind of see what happens. If you want to check this out, I will leave a link down below. But I'll throw 1,000 in here, 12% a day. I mean, it's funds that I can afford to lose. I'm not really looking to throw BNB everywhere because I want to take the BNB that I'm earning from some of these miners and throw it into the the drip liberation, obviously. All right, so it was approved. All right, so if you want to check this out, it pays 12% a day. I mean, these things are getting crazy, right? 3% a day is already, like 1% a day is already a lot, to be honest. 3% a day with these miners is insane, right? Insane. When I first took a look at BNB miner, I was like, man, 3% a day, that's insane, right? Now we're gonna kind of get desensitized to it. We're numb to it. There's 10% a day deals we're jumping into. This is a 12%. Guys, I saw a 20% a day 2 days ago, which I didn't even, I mean, I don't even want to take a look at it. I mean, well, that's not true. I took a look at it, but I didn't go too deep into it. But there's 20% a day of these things that are popping up. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, you can see here, I'm already starting to earn some BUSD. If you want to check out BUSD miner, like I said, 12% a day, only throw in, what you can afford to lose. But that's that, right? Shiba miner, this one here, as you can see, got about 8.8 million Shiba or SHIB that I can withdraw here. Sounds like a lot, but it's not really that much because it's so cheap. But you can see here that the contract is doing well. It's at 139,000. It's kind of fluctuating. I think it hit 145,000 if I'm not mistaken earlier this morning. Now it's down to about 139. So it goes up and down, up and down. Again, if you are holding SHIB and you want to throw a little bit in here, hopefully it continues to make these crazy gains and you can earn 3% a day. You can leverage this miner. Let's take a quick look at what SHIB is doing. Yeah, it's up 40% over the last 24 hours. So yeah, I'm not saying to throw your whole bag into this miner, but if you want to put some at risk, I mean, these meme coins are risk already, right? But if you want to put some at risk so you can double up on that 40% a day on what it's earning or what price is doing, plus 3% a day. Yeah, this is a degen play that you can take a quick look at. BUSD farm, this one here, 10% a day. 22. I'm earning upwards of 2,300 plus a day on this one. And the contract is holding steady at 1.1 million. So it's been above 1.1 million now for a couple of days. So yeah, this one here is still going strong. Again, this is the one that I'm supporting the most, or I'm heaviest into. If you want to check out a 10% deal in BUSD farm is probably the best bet right now because the contract is holding steady at over $1.1 million. This one here, Crypto Egg, this is also paying out 10% a day. I put 10 grand into this one. So we're earning, a nice chunk of change. Contract sitting at 1,724 BNB right now. Yeah, this one's been running for a while. So, as long as the contract is holding steady, it might dip a little bit, but as long as it's holding somewhat steady, I'm pretty confident. But this one here, 10% a, if you want to check it out. BNB miner, the original, the OG, as you can see here, there's 6,785 BNB. 2 days ago, there was 7,000 BNB in here. So, 200 was that, a little bit over 200 BNB. Has left the contract, and that's to be expected, guys, because there's so many of these miners that are coming out. I'm sure people are pulling divs from here to get into some of the other ones, right? The 10% ones or the 12% ones, or they're pulling divs from here to get ready for the manor farm, or they're buying drip, on the dip. There's so many. I mean, this is to be expected, right? But we'll watch this closely. I mean, we're keeping a loose eye on this, but I mean, there's so many people in BNB miner. This one sometimes takes a dip and then it comes back higher than than when it was. So I'll keep an eye on this, but I'm not really stressing out. This one here doing its thing, 3% a day. Yeah, the original that everyone has copied, right? Cake. Take a quick look at Cake Miner. This one here is holding steady at just under $1.5 million. So this one here has been holding really, really well for couple of days now, for the last, I don't even know how many days, but it's been holding steady at about $1.5 million. And yeah, this one here is doing its thing. I have about just under 20 cake here that I've mined, and I'm 22 hours and 27 minutes. So this one here we're doing really, really well with. You want somewhere to park your cake. This one here is probably the best miner to do it on. Because it has the biggest contract that's been pretty steady. So Cake Miner doing its thing. ADA Miner got about 206 ADA right here, with about 22 hours left still. So this one here we're doing really, really good with. Contract is at 190,000, down from 200. What was it? 200. I don't even remember. 220,000, I think, or 230,000 ADA. So it's a little bit down, but like I said, more of these things pop up, people are going to be pulling divs and putting into these other miners. So a lot of people say, well, these miners are going to run for 6 months because BNB miner ran for 6 months. And, when a miner launches, there's a good chance it's going to run for 6 months. That's not necessarily true. The reason why BNB miner ran for 6 months, there was no other miners. Now you have 20 miners that are out in the marketplace right now. So there's only so much BNB in the market that can go into these things, right? So instead of focusing on 1 or 2 or 3, it's being spread out over 20, right? I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. It's just, it is what it is. So you got to expect these ebbs and flows with the contract. And that's just how it's going to work. Key is to get in early and hope to ROI ASAP, so you have just profits that you're playing with. But yeah, with this one right here, I'm pretty solid. You know what I mean? It has a good dev team behind it. They've launched other contracts, but this one is still holding up. It's holding up. Let's look at XRP from the same dev team for ADA miner. This one here got 782 XRP, 187,000 XRP still in the contract. So this one's dipped a little bit as well, but yeah, we'll see what happens here. You know, I'm still obviously I'm in 10K in ADA, I'm in 10K in XRP. Most of these things I'm pretty much 10K. You know, I went 10K in each one of them. So yeah, we're still rolling with XRP miner. If you want to check this out, if you have XRP sitting in your wallet somewhere and it's just kind of sitting there, and you're, like I said, you're okay with putting a little bit of it at risk for in exchange for 3% a day, you know, XRP miner is the miner for you. BTC miner, let's take a quick look right here. This one here, I'm earning about $300 plus a day in BTC. This one has 4.6 BTC in the contract. So that's a lot of BTC. And again, it's been holding pretty steady now. It's dipped a little bit, but even though it's dipped, price of BTC has gone crazy. So, you know, even though we're earning, you know, a certain amount of BTC a day, because the price has gone up, you know, we're actually making way more in this than what a lot of people think. But this is the sleeper, I think, especially with the price of Bitcoin going up. But yeah, this one here, that never hurts to get paid in BTC. Let's talk about cryptominer.finance. We'll take a quick look at Hex before I switch over to Matic. Let's take a quick look at the Cake Infinity miner. They also have the banana one here. So if you have some banana in your wallet, this one here, I have 5 cake that I can withdraw. There's 23,000 cake in the contract. So I believe it's dipped a little bit. I believe this was at upwards of 24, maybe even close to 25,000 cake, if I'm not mistaken. So it's dipped a little bit. But yeah, it's still doing its thing. Again, I don't really panic or anything if it goes down for a couple of days. Some of these things will go down and then it comes right back up higher than it was before. So we'll see what happens here. Let me switch over to Matic so that we can take a quick look at some of these I was going to say farms, these miners that are on Matic. All right, so so from the same crew that made Cake Infinity miner, let's take a quick look at Hex miner. So this one here, contract balance sitting at just under 1.2 million hex. It's been sitting around 1.2 million hex now for the last 2-3 days. I have 529 hex in the barrel right here. I believe this is the only hex miner. So if you want to, you know, throw some hex in here, totally up to you. You don't have to. But this one here is still doing its thing. Let me go over to ETH miner, and then we'll kind of jump back. But this one here, 0.036986 ETH I have here with about 24 hours. This one here, contract is at 40 ETH. So at its height, it had about 50 ETH. It's been coming down, you know, little by little every single day. We'll see what happens with this. But yeah, we're still obviously here earning from this miner. This is the ETH. Again, it's on Matic. So if you throw something in here, make sure you're going on QuickSwap or a swap on Polygon and getting your ETH on Polygon. Don't throw ETH in here from your Exodus wallet or your Coinbase wallet or something like that. It has to be on the Matic network. Okay. Tron miner. Let's go into Tron miner. So this one here, I have 1,200 Tron in the barrel right here. Contract balance sitting at 902,000 TRX. So again, this one here has been pretty steady above 900,000 as well for the last, I don't know, 2 days, 3 days, however long it's been. It hasn't really dipped too much. Again, if you're sitting on some TRX and you're just sitting in your TronLink wallet doing nothing, and you want to put some of it at risk, throw a little bit into a 3% a day miner. I believe this is the only Tron miner in the marketplace right now. But yeah, it's working it's working seamlessly, and it's from the same team that launched the Hex miner and also the Cake Infinity and also the Banana one. So it's from a somewhat trusted dev. So real quick, guys, Rex miner, and we'll talk a little bit more about Rex. We'll actually come back, take a quick look at Rex. This one here is still, it's printing Rex, even though the price of Rex has, it's pretty much tanked, right? And that's the reason why they're launching a 2.0 Rex. But the contract, this miner contract itself, this was at 41 million. It's at 46 million. Grew 5 million Rex in the last 24 hours. I guess people are saying, you know what? Let me just throw it in here. Might as well. I mean, people are not going to sell their, well, I don't want to say that, I don't want to generalize, but for the vast majority of people, they're not going to sell their Rex right now. They're at least going to want to see what happens in 2.0 because, why sell it now? It's tanked so much that, you're taking a huge loss. At least see what happens with 2.0. And that's what I'm going to do, right? I'm not going to sell my Rex. If I did, I'd be at a major loss. So what's the use? Might as well just hang in there, see what happens with 2.0. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not going to sit there and say 2.0. I see a lot of YouTubers saying, oh, 2.0 is going to be amazing and this and that. And that's great. Obviously they have, pretty big bags, I guess. And they want to grow their bag, and that's fine. I get it. Definitely not throwing shade at them. Do what you got to do. I mean, for me, I got a pretty big bag of this as well. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm not going to hold my breath. We've seen so many of these platforms, have exploits or rug pulls, or they launch their 2.0 version. And as far as I can recall, there hasn't been not a one. There hasn't been any that has launched a 2.0 version that has been as successful or more successful than the original, right? It's always been kind of a shadow of the original, right? Because I get it. People lose confidence. We'll see what happens. I mean, the market is going to dictate what happens here. I hope it comes back, because again, I don't want to take that L. But if I got to, then I got to, right? I mean, it's just the way it is. So we'll come back to this here. Just want to kind of finish up here, and then I'll come back to Rex because I do want to talk about Rex 2.0, what that's going to look like. So you guys are probably wondering about that. Let me switch over to Matic. I mean, not Matic, BNB. All right, let me cover a couple of these things, then I'll come back. So again, I did want to cover everything here. BNB business, this one here is still running. I mean, it's a slower paced model, right? But it's still running. I'm probably getting about I don't know, maybe one BNB a day, if that, maybe a little bit less. But it's still working. It's still working. So that's the key. As long as these things continue to work, even though it's a slower drip, for me, that's a plus, right? So anyway, BNB business. Some of you guys asked for an update on that. Some of you guys had an update on Taurus. Well, the price of wire tokens still continuing to increase. It's at 1.3 now, $1.30, just under $1.31. As you can see here, this started at 10 cents, so it's grown quite a bit. The platform itself works, right? The network marketing side, the binary, all of that stuff works, right? The exchange works. You can sell your wire token for BNB right here. All of this stuff works. So again, nothing major to update. Some of you guys have been saying, hey, you're not doing any videos on Taurus. Why don't you update us on that? Reason why is there's really not much to update. The platform works, right? Yeah, I mean, I can't even think of anything right now. Wire token, we'll see what the price is, if it'll hit $1.50. I'm hoping it does, right? So some of you guys that have been holding this, you might want to start thinking about locking in some profits, if that's your thing. Like I've been just kind of selling it as I get it. But some of you guys have been holding in your wallet, and if you were holding at $1 or maybe less than $1, might be a good time to lock in some profits here. But we'll continue to keep a loose eye on this. But again, the platform is working. Crypto future, this one here, obviously there's some different things that they're doing now with withdrawal. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, when a platform starts playing with the withdrawals and how to do them, and they're changing this and they're changing that, I'm not really a big fan of that. Before we would be able to withdraw daily anytime we wanted to. Now there's some limitations. You can only withdraw your network your affiliate commissions on certain days. You can withdraw your passive payouts on certain days. We'll see what happens. I've yet to make a withdrawal yet because, again, I have to wait to, I believe, Monday to withdraw this amount. Or is it this amount? I got to check. Like, one of these things I can withdraw on Monday, so I'm going to hold and wait till Monday. The other one I have to wait till the first of the month. So typically I'll just be withdrawing this, every day. Now I got to kind of wait. So we'll see what happens here. Again, not a really big fan of platforms that change their withdrawal procedures, but we'll see what happens. There's really nothing we can do about it. Just gonna have to wait and see. Elevate passes when you're still doing its thing, a little bit more on the conservative side, pays out up to 3% a week. The last weekly payout was 3%. They pay their weekly payouts every Wednesday. But this one here is still doing its thing. Helium, those of you guys that want to get into iHub Global, use the link down below. You can reserve and register for a device. Again, you might not get your device for 2 months or 3 months. But while you're waiting for your device, go ahead and start building a team. We've talked about that before. Okay. Now you might say, well, I don't want to wait. You can get a device on your own, pay $500 or $600 plus shipping, and just order a helium mining device. But if you want it for free via iHub Global, you can register for it. It is back ordered. There's 3,000 miners from iHub Global that are in the marketplace already. And I believe there's 187, close to 200,000 affiliates just in North America. So you can see how much they're back ordered. So we'll see what happens here. I do have mine hooked up. So again, I'm going to wait till it's a full month before I do an update and show you how much we've been earning. But Helium itself, I'm at $21. Last update real quick before I go into Rex, swap it. This is not today, but we're coming to the last day if you want to get your legend pack at $5,000 on the 11th. The 11th of this month, which is in just a few days, the legend pack is gonna go from $5,000 to $10,000. Now, you're gonna get a lot more features, but if you want to get it at 5,000, which is essentially half price, and just get grandfathered to that, to the legend pack when they make that increase in the price, get your legend pack ASAP. Right? You have until the 11th, which is like in 3 days. By the time you watch this video, I don't know when you're gonna watch this video, but you might be watching this video, it's already past the 11th and you already missed it. But you want to get it before it upgrades and doubles in price. Now would be the time. Almost forgot. Panda Inu right now sitting at 11 cents. We'll see what happens with this, guys. Right now, it's kind of been stuck at around 10%. Now it's at 11. So the round 3 is obviously going extremely slow. People bought in on round 1. They bought in on round 2. We're going to see what they do with this. I'm hoping that they call an audible and they say, you know what, even though we're not going to finish round 3, we're going to go ahead and launch. Because if we're going to wait till this thing hits 100%, it might take, I don't know how long it's going to take. Other than that, the ECC side is working. You can actually withdraw your ECC to your wallet, your BSC wallet, sell it on PancakeSwap. But again, we'll see what happens here with the Panda Inu private sale. If you have any information on this, post it down below. Let me know if you've heard anything, if they're going to call an audible and launch anyway, even though they haven't completed round 3. Because again, this might take, I don't know how long it's going to take if we just kind of wait here. A lot of people are anxious. They want to kind of get this thing moving, including myself. So that being said, Rex, right? We talked about Rex Miner. Here is the announcement, okay? Again, you can read this word for word on your own. I'm just going to kind of skim through it, but this is what they're doing. Essentially, what they're doing is they're, I don't want to say relaunching, because when you say relaunch, it gives you the idea that, they're taking the original platform and making it, they're going to fix it on that platform. And essentially, from what I understand, again, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand everything because there's so much information, is they're going to leave Rex 1.0 and they're going to actually just relaunch 2.0, or they're going to launch, not relaunch, they're going to launch 2.0, right? And then there's going to be, I believe, a 1-for-1 airdrop. If you're holding Rex 1.0, you'll get an airdrop in 2.0. Now, what's the value of that? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be the same value as where it was before it dumped, right? I mean, what's the reason why it dumped anyway? Was it like a whale? Was it? I think people were saying that it was a whale that just started dumping. It wasn't really an exploit in the contract, right? Typically, there's an exploit in the contract, and that's what happens. But I believe here it was just a whale that got in early, just started dumping all their coins, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, here's the announcement, guys. Dear Rexicans, we are happy to announce that an improved version of the Rex token, Rex 2.0, is currently being developed. I think they said in November. It's going to launch in November. We're already in October, so it should be about 30 to 45 days out. I mean, kind of sucks that you got to wait 30 or 45 days, but it is what it is, right? We're kind of stuck here. Or you could just dump your coins right now and sell it for a super loss, right? You might as well just hold on to them. You're at a loss already. You might as well hold on to them and see what these guys do. See if it comes up a little bit and then sell them. Or, if these guys are the first ever in the crypto space to actually do a 2.0 that was just as good or better than 1.0, again, not holding my breath, but if they do that, then you'll be glad that you have your tokens. But if you sell them right now, you're already at a loss. Why lock in that loss, right? Again, not financial advice. Do what you want to do. Anyway, Rex 2.0 will provide the intended capabilities, especially, let me just open this up here. Where was I? All right, I guess this is the actual announcement. I don't know what I was reading. Here, dear fellow Rexicans, at first we'd like to thank you. We are an amazing, unprecedentedly creative, ultra dedicated, and thriving community. That is totally the very heart of our project. You are unbelievable. Okay. We are happy to make the following official announcement. Rex 2.0 token is currently being developed. Rex 2.0 is the working title. It will be available November 6th. That's an estimated date. So it might move from there. They might push it back. I don't know. Rex 1.0 holdings will be imported. So whatever you have in your wallet as far as Rex, it'll be kind of imported, and you'll get a 1-for-1 exchange on the 2.0 token. Again, I'm crossing my fingers. I hope this thing works out because I don't want to take that L, but I'm fully mentally and emotionally ready to just take that L and move on. Because for me, I don't like getting dragged along. Some of these platforms will drag you along. And I've been in the space for so long, I've already learned to, what, we're moving on, right? Moving on to the next thing. But like I said, I hope this thing works. Rex has achieved massive early adoption, so we will now take the chance to make the final steps towards mass adoption, improving the Rex protocol. After having recognized potentials for improvements, the development has already been started around 4 weeks ago with the aim to create the perfect Rex. So a lot of these, auction models, there's been so many, right? GSC, what was the other one? There was just like you have these miners popping up every day. There was a time when these auction models were popping up. There was one every other, once, every week there was one coming out, and none of them were, none of them had long-term, gave long-term success. Some of them were successful for a short term, like T2X was pretty good, and then that kind of died down. Which, again, I'm not holding it against this. All these platforms died down, but none of them have been able to, reach that long-term success except for Hex, right? So we'll see what happens here. So having a perfect Rex on another chain only isn't the best solution. The smart chain also deserves to have a perfect Rex. So we will redeploy on BSC as well. So they're going to launch on another chain and also on BSC. I don't know what chain they're going to launch on. I couldn't even guess, right? I mean, I don't think they're going to launch on Matic or Polygon. Maybe they will. I don't know. I'm not really the biggest fan of Matic because it's just a clunky, slow chain. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's good that they're going to redeploy on BSC as well. Probably one of my favorite chains. So easy to use, quick. Rex is in a very early stage, so we'll take this chance regarding all feedback from the community and all experiences we've made with Rex 1.0 to make Rex 2.0 the best Rex it can be before entering other blockchains. In this early stage, we have the possibility to create the new token and provide significant liquidity right from the beginning in the new pair Rex2 BUSD. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create the perfect Rex with a much better starting position than in Rex 1.0. Rex 2.0 will be accompanied by the new trust building, easy to use, beautiful website and marketing campaigns. Yeah, I hope they this better be trust building because they've lost a lot of trust from a lot of people. People have gotten wrecked on this 1.0, you know, including myself. So, you know, I'll see if it's really trust building. Beautiful website. I can care less about that. I need a platform that works. You know, some of these miners aren't beautiful websites, but they work. You know, as long as the thing works, I don't care how beautiful it is. We want something that works. So here's some Q&A, FAQs, whatever you want to call it. Go through this yourself. Let me just highlight a few that are probably the most important or stick out to me. What about the actual Rex 1.0 token? The actual Rex 1.0 token will persist. It will be usable via Rex website and it will be tradable on PancakeSwap now and in the future. Also, the daily auctions will continue to take place, as well as the big paydays, and the treasury will be opened on day 400. So yes, the daily auctions will take place. Who's going to jump into these daily auctions? How many people are going to jump into these auctions? I don't know. Who's going to jump into it when 2.0, you know, if 2.0 launches, everyone's going to be jumping into 2.0. So I don't know. I don't know who's going to be jumping into 1.0. So I don't know how this is going to play out, you know, because there's obviously this explanation on quote unquote paper, and then there's what happens in real life, right? And a lot of times it's two different things. So we're going to see what happens here. So here they're saying that daily auctions will continue. We don't know who's going to jump into them, you know. We'll see. Just like ETH Classic still has fans, even though ETH exists, Rex 1.0 may have fans and value in the future. That's a long shot. We'll see. Just like ETH Classic, who is a fan of ETH Classic? I don't know. We'll see what happens here, man. I mean, like I said, I'm not holding my breath. I hope it works out for everyone that's holding Rex, so they don't get wrecked too bad, but we will see what happens. The market will dictate if this thing is going to be successful or not. Me personally, you know, again, like I said, I got a pretty big bag of this. Not the biggest bag, but I got a bunch in here. I put probably 18 or 19 or 20 grand into this. We'll see what happens. You know, we'll see what happens. But again, it's like there's so many platforms that are working perfectly fine and seamlessly. Like, why would I want to go back into a platform that already dropped the ball the first time, right? So we'll see. I mean, things can change over the next, whatever, 45 days until this thing launches. I might have a change of heart, but you know, it's up to them to see if they can win my trust back, obviously, right? So we'll see what happens. And again, I'm not throwing shade at Thomas, the developer, for this or whoever. You know, there's sometimes things happen beyond his control too, right? I mean, there's so many ways to game this system. You know, these having massive amounts of people do this whole dead stake thing. I'm pretty sure that wasn't, you know, something he anticipated when he built this system. So again, you know, there's sometimes, and I'm not saying that, you know, he's the perfect dev, but sometimes, you know, there's devs that have good intentions, but things happen in the marketplace. You know, he can't control the actions of every person in his you know, that's utilizing his platform. So, you know, it is what it is. That's just the way it is. Anyway, yeah, you can go through some of this stuff yourself or all of it yourself here, but Rex 1.0 holders, early Rex adopters will have a free starting amount in Rex 2.0, and those tokens will be liquid. That's good. So everyone has the opportunity to rethink their strategy. A batch staking function has already been written for this, supported by the new website and its advanced staking tools. So again, all of this is good. Again, we don't know what the price of Rex 2.0 is going to be, because that's going to be I'm pretty sure that's going to be a factor. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Again, the marketplace will dictate if this thing is going to succeed or not. How many Rex 2.0 tokens do Rex 1.0 holders get? Or Rex 1.0 holders being airdropped with Rex 2.0 tokens in proportion to their holdings of Rex 1.0, in proportion to the total Rex 1.0 tokens. For this Rex 2.0 airdrop to the Rex 1.0 holders, a snapshot will be made as soon as Rex 2.0 is deployed, as soon as the audits are finished. So once they are ready to launch, they're going to take a snapshot. Snapshot of each address will include Rex 1.0 tokens in the wallet, all Rex stakes, and even all interest earned, and calculate the sum of Rex 1.0 for each address, and finally their percentage it holds in relation to the total Rex 1.0. How will liquidity be built on Rex 2.0? It is planned to start Rex 2.0 with the same liquidity as the Rex 1.0 BNB pair on PCS, PancakeSwap, at the time of the 2.0 deployment, so that there will be a significant liquidity right from the beginning, created as Rex 2.0 BUSD. Will there be a T-Rex 2.0? Yes, Rex 2.0 will be supported by T-Rex 2.0 because everybody loves a T-Rex. T-Rex 2.0 will provide advantages, including a better share price when staking. To make it as fair as possible, T-Rex 1.0 holders shall be airdropped 10 T-Rex 2.0. Okay. Will there be an MREX? No, the basic functions, withdraw interest, scraping, transferring a stake, moving will cost a small fixed BUSD fee to be calculated. Opening, closing, and renaming a stake will be free. MREX 1.0 holders won't pay a fee. What's the Rex 2.0 APR? Your personal APR will be a result of your own and the overall staking behavior of the token supply inflation. Inflation will be moderate, around 3.99% per year. The more people stake, the lower your personal API. The less people stake, the higher your API. Can I still withdraw interest? Yes, when audit. Right now, the Rex 2.0 code is 90% ready. As soon as it's finished, it will be studied and tested extensively. When Moon. Oh boy. What is the best strategy for me? Again, everyone's going to have a different strategy. So yeah, we're going to see what happens here. I mean, the price is already, let's take a quick look at the price. What is the price here? Where did I put that? Over here. So the price is actually, this dumped all the way down to, what was it yesterday? It was down to like -70 or -80%. The last 24 hours, since, there's a lot of degen guys out there, just like me, right? Some of you guys are nuts. You're buying it this on the cheap and it's causing the price. Look at this, 200%. So the price is coming, it's come back up. It's not where it was, obviously. I think the height of it was at 1 cent. But you can see here the price is back up from where it was 24 hours ago, which is not saying much because it was so low, right? It dumped so low, but it's up 200%. This is the 1.0, obviously. So what am I going to do? Obviously, I'm not going to sell. Like I mentioned 3 or 4 times already, I'm not going to sell my Rex. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to see what happens with the snapshot. I'm going to see what happens when they launch 2.0. If it recovers a little bit, I mean, I'm not expecting it to come back to where it was, not even close, but if it comes back a little bit, it's probably better to hold it and see if that happens than to sell it now at a guaranteed loss. As far as the platform, am I going to jump into the auction, 2.0 auction, all that stuff? We'll see. I mean, I don't know. That's 45 to 60 days from now. So I'm not really, I'm thinking about what I'm doing today, right? But we'll see. In the meantime, the Rex miner is working. This is a way for me to continue to stack Rex. Just keep growing the amount of Rex that I have. So this is what I'm using right now. Yeah, anyway, those are just my thoughts. Again, those are my personal thoughts. You might agree with them, disagree with them. That's fine. Everyone has a different strategy. And again, I'm not throwing shade at Thomas or 1.0. It is what it is. I didn't have a gun to my head. I took the risk, and I'm a risk taker. That's what I do. That's just it is what it is. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if it recovers. Do I hope it recovers? Yes. Am I holding my breath? No. But we're gonna continue to just use this Rex miner to continue to grow it. Anyway, I know this was a long video. Wanted to cover so many of these platforms, give you my updates. A lot of you guys have been asking for updates for different things, and I've just been doing these 2-minute, 3-minute up, these different miners that are coming out. I'm doing these 2-minute or 3-minute videos just to tell you about a new miner, and I haven't done any updates or anything like that on some of these platforms. So I wanted just to kind of hit everything in one shot, and yeah, give you all the details. Anyway, do your own research, guys. Do your own due diligence. If you do decide to get into any of these things, risk capital only. Crypto in and of itself is super volatile. So again, putting it into these miners just ups the risk. So again, you got to be okay with the risk. If you are okay, only put in what you can afford to lose. Again, follow me on Telegram. I'll leave a link for that down below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe, hit the little bell icon. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.